Okay, so the video I'm going to be doing today is the first of a three-part series of Is the Rapture Biblical? Today's video will be about the infiltration of the church. So if I start in a parable in Matthew 13, the parable of the wheat and tares, it's a parable put forth the kingdom of heaven. So that can be interchangeable with church or Christianity. Is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field, but while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then has it tares? He said unto them, An enemy has done this. The servant said unto him, Wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, Nay, lest while you gather up the tares, you root up also the wheat with them. Let both grow till the harvest. Then time I will say to the reapers, Gather ye first the tares and bind them in bundles, burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. If we go down to verse 37, he explains who's what in the parable. He that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world, so it's the whole world's church. The good seed of the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. The enemy that sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. If we go back up, though, the important verses are, so they said that he sowed good seed in the field. When does it have tares? Do they want them to go and do they want him to let them go gather them up? But he said, Nay, lest while you gather up the tares, you root up also the wheat with them. So what he's saying is, if you pull all the devil's people out of Christianity, you pull the Christians out with them and there'll be no Christianity left. That's what those verses there are saying about the end time church. Another parable is talking about the same thing, the parable of the leaven. So nowhere in the Bible does leaven ever represent anything good, especially in the New Testament. Beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and the Sadducees. Beware of the leaven of Herod. Let us keep the feast, not with the old leaven of wicked and malice. So leaven is always something bad. So the kingdom of heaven is likened unto leaven, which a woman took and hid in 3 measures of meal till the whole was leavened. So the reason it has 3 measures of meal, Christianity has 3 branches, Orthodoxy, Catholicism, and Protestantism. And that parable there is saying the whole lot's leavened. So another parable that tells us, gives us some idea of how many, what the ratio is of these people in the church is the parable of the sower. If we have a look at Mark's version of the parable of the sower, and it came to pass as he sowed, some fell by the wayside, and the fowls of the air devoured them up. It goes down, some fell on stony ground. When the sun was up, they were scorched and withered away. Some fell among thorns, some fell on good ground, did yield fruit. If we go down and he tells who's what in the parable, he said, These are they that by the wayside where the word is sown, but when they have heard, Satan cometh immediately and taketh away the word that was sown in their hearts. So these are the people we're talking about, and the reason they're number one in the parable of the sower is because they're the largest group within Christianity. The other ones are ones that don't want to endure because there's persecution and that. The other one choked by riches of the world, and then the last ones are the ones that bring forth fruit. But if we have a look, it says, Satan cometh immediately and taketh away the word that was sown in their hearts. So he doesn't just take it away and leave them with nothing. He gives them what Christ refers to in Revelation 2:24 as, if we have a look what he says, not this doctrine, and which have not known the depths of Satan as they speak. So that's another version of the Bible might say the deep secrets of Satan as they say. So that's another term for the ancient mysteries, so mystery religion. So these people have gone into church, they're invited for the ancient mysteries, and then they stay in the church, but they're working for the devil. Another parable, the parable of the net in Matthew 13. So if we have a look, Matthew 13 and 13:47, and he's saying the same thing again. And again, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a net that was cast in the sea and gathered of every kind, which when it was full they drew to the shore and sat down and gathered the good into vessels, but cast the bad away. So shall it be at the end of the world. The angels shall come forth and sever the wicked from among the just, and he shall cast them into the furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Interesting. At the end of that parable and the end of the parable of the wheat and tares are the only two parables that, or the only 2 times where he says wailing and gnashing of teeth. The rest of the times when he says, after death, what will happen to people, it's usually weeping and gnashing of teeth. But those people that are dedicated deceivers working against Christians and Christianity have wailing and gnashing of teeth after there it is there, wailing and gnashing of teeth. And so also some other verses within the New Testament saying the same thing. Acts 20:29, Romans 16:17-18, 2 Corinthians 11:13-15, Ephesians 4:14. So we'll have a quick look at Ephesians 4:14. People can go and read all those verses for themselves. That we henceforth be no more children tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. So that's why their deception is so thorough, because verse 14 there is telling us that they lie in wait to deceive. So they just wait for you to come to them. That's why people don't. It's harder to recognize that sort of deception where they're waiting for you to come to them. The whole of the chapter 2 Peter 2 is about the same thing, and the whole book of Jude. If we have a quick look at the start of the book of Jude, people can read these for themselves. He actually changes his mind on what he's going to write. Beloved, when I gave all diligence to write unto you of your common salvation, it was needful for me to write unto you, exhort you that you should earnestly contend for the faith which was once delivered unto the saints, for there are certain men crept in unawares. So his whole epistle, he changed his mind, what he was going to even write about, because it was so important for the false teachers. So this is just a foundation, laying a foundation to show that they have the numbers and they have the the wherewithal to be able to pull off a fake rapture in the church and deceive a lot of people. So that's the video for today. So God bless, and thanks for watching.